In the past, Zeno spent his time aimlessly in the slums until a man approached him and suggested he join their party. Since Zenos clearly had nowhere else to be, the man figured he might as well come along on their adventures. Zenos mentioned that he had heard people from the slums couldn't become adventurers. The man replied that was normally the truth, but in his view, if someone had the motivation and the skills, status didn't matter. When asked what he could do, Zeno said he knew a bit of healing magic. The man doubted it. He didn't think someone from the slums could have access to that kind of training, but allowed him to join anyway. Not because he expected Zenos to be useful, but because he really just wanted someone to order around, essentially a glorified servant. As time passed, the man would constantly get injured in battle, but Zenos always healed him immediately. The healing came so quickly and smoothly that the man never realized how essential Zenos truly was. Eventually, he began to see Zenos as dead weight, like carrying around a load of unnecessary baggage. Convinced he was worthless, the man kicked Zenos out of the party. In the present, that same party is on another mission, this time trying to earn favor with one of the seven great nobles. Even then, the task feels like a waste of effort to them. They would rather return to drinking and celebrating their newfound popularity. Their reputation for slaying multiple magical beasts without suffering a single injury has spread far and wide, even reaching remote areas. When they finally engage the monsters, they charge in confidently, expecting the same easy victory as always. But this time, without Zenos, the battle turns brutal. They suffer one painful injury after another. It gets so bad that the leader calls for a retreat. He cannot understand how they are struggling so badly against B-rank beasts. One of the party members quietly suggests that maybe Zenos had been using healing magic on them all along. The leader laughs at the idea, refusing to believe it. Still, despite his pride, he reluctantly admits they might need to hire a healer, a real one this time, not some worthless slum rat like Zenos. They return to the same location 10 days later, this time with a new healer named Umin. The party tells her she better make herself useful. Umin, however, warns them not to expect too much. She usually works in the capital and only happens to hold an adventuring license. Still, she's curious. Why would a party known for coming out of battles unscathed need the help of a mid-ranked healer like her? They respond vaguely, saying a lot has happened. One of the members then asks about their injured archer, who had been badly wounded during their last outing. Umin replies that he should survive, but she doubts he will ever be able to adventure again. Coldly, the leader remarks that this just proves the archer wasn't up to their party's standards. Losing him will not make a difference. Their current mission, they explain, is to retrieve monster fur for a noble's daughter's birthday gift. A scarf, to be exact. The leader is determined not to miss this chance to gain favor with high society. But as they proceed, the monsters ambush them. One of the party members is badly burned, and the others cannot land a hit, forcing the group to retreat again. Umin informs them that the defensive spell one member cast was active. Without it, the injured man would have died instantly. Still, the leader snaps that magic is useless if the result is someone getting hurt that badly. He demands she heal the man immediately. She tries to explain that healing magic is not instant. The spell must be cast and adjusted according to the nature of the injury. She has done what she can for now, but the man needs to be transferred to a hospital equipped with advanced magic circles, and quickly. The leader insists they don't have time for that and tells her to fix him right now. But Umin asks if he even understands what he's asking. Not even top-tier healers could manage a full recovery under these conditions. Only a handful of elite healers, or perhaps a saint, could pull it off. Those words make the leader, Aston, start having troubling thoughts. Ever since he kicked Zenos out of the party, they have been taking constant damage. He asks Umin if it is possible that someone could perform elite-level healing magic without holding a healer's license. She says it is hard to imagine, but wonders if he has any reason to believe such a person exists. Still, Aston resists the idea. There's no way that peasant could have done all that. He must be overthinking it. As far as he is concerned, Zenos was just the party's baggage. When Aston has to report a failed mission, the servant of the noble says he was a fool for placing his hopes in such an incompetent group. He tells Aston to leave and never show his face again. The girl's birthday has already passed, but the noble's anger isn't just about the failed hunt. If Aston had simply judged the task impossible and reported that, the noble could have at least prepared something else. Instead, he was left empty-handed and embarrassed. Aston begs for another chance, but the servant gets angry. What could a party with only half its members intact possibly do to redeem themselves? Aston insists that they are already working on recruiting replacements. Next time, they will get the job done. In his mind, Zenos must be desperate to return. Even though he refuses to accept that Zenos was the glue holding the team together, deep down he knows everything went smoothly when Zenos was around. His plan is simple: use Zenos like he did back in the beginning and reclaim all the fame they have lost. So Aston heads to the slums to find him. He approaches the 3 leaders of the slums to request help in locating Zenos, but the moment the girls realize they are the party that kicked Zenos out, they immediately lash out. Each of them insults him and tells him they hope he dies. Aston is baffled. He assumes they must be talking about a different Zenos altogether, but just then, he spots Zenos walking down the street. He approaches Zenos and announces that he's going to let him rejoin the party, but Zenos refuses. Back then, he was treated unfairly, paid next to nothing, and got nothing out of it. There's no reason for him to go back. Enraged, Aston tries to attack him, but just then, Chris appears and shoots him. She had been on her way to see Zenos, but now declares that Aston is under arrest for attempted assault. However, Aston manages to escape. Later, everyone gathers at Zenos' clinic. They are worried he might turn to the underground guild. That guild handles illegal work and will do anything for the right price. That night, Zenos cannot sleep. He's worried too. Mila joins him for tea and asks how he managed to learn healing magic while growing up in the slums. He explains that he started out trying to revive a corpse, so healing magic came with the territory. As a child, he didn't know it was forbidden sorcery. His teacher scolded him harshly for it. Mila remarks that back when she was alive, 300 years ago, artificial life existed in the form of golems. These golems were terrifying because they felt no pain or fear and carried out their duties with relentless efficiency. Just then, they hear a loud noise coming from the slums. Mila flies high into the sky to find the source, and what she sees leaves her stunned. They had just been talking about golems, and now one is rampaging through the slums.